Hello, Ultimate Wellness Tribe. Today I'm joined by amazing Dana Frost. She is body, mind, and spirit alchemist. She educates and coaches women towards optimal health, empowering them to live vibrant and fulfilled lives. And Dana is certified life coach, aromatherapy, HeartMath Facilitator, Myers-Briggs Facilitator, light therapy, and functional nutrition and lifestyle practitioner. So looks like Dana, you are dedicated to education like lifelong student, so many modalities which you obviously can incorporate in your holistic approach, I guess.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you. It is my passion. I was talking to somebody this morning and giving a recommendation, and I said, but I literally am in this, like in the research, in the information every day, for, over 10 years, over a decade. So
Yeah, science changes so fast and we all need
it
to
does.
educate ourselves all time. That's why here at Ultimate Wellness, we are dedicated to create this community and platform for exchanging opinions and everyday education. And you also a LifeWave brand partner. And you joined us as a sponsor at the upcoming Ultimate Wellness Conference at Faena Forum in Miami Beach on September 26th through 28th. It's going to be 3-day longevity conference. I like to say it's the most transformative and the most practical and spiritual conference, because along with amazing lineup of speakers and selected biohacking technologies, we also offer immersive experiences. It's like always with breath work, sound healing with the orchestra, different kinds of modalities of energy healing. So it's going to be very interesting, and our followers can purchase ticket with the promo code Dana, DANA, really easy to memorize. Just go to at ultimatewellness.miami and purchase your ticket. So Dana, thank you for joining us again. Thank you for supporting our Ultimate Wellness Conference. And this year, together with LifeWave Patches, you bring brand new machine, water machine, to the forum, to the expo. I'm super excited to learn more. Let's discuss it. What is the technology? The technology itself, like patches, which you presented before, it's super interesting. They utilize some acupuncture and they activate stem cells. And now these machines sounds exciting.
It's really interesting. Yeah, it is really exciting. And David Schmidt, the scientist behind these light-driven technologies, Julia, he really has a vision to end suffering and pain, help people feel healthy, feel vibrant, using what we have available in our human body, this amazing technology that we have that truly is, our bodies are smarter than the latest technology that we're creating. And so how do we use the body, and what is it that the body needs? What does the body respond to? Well, we know we are nothing but light receptors. Our human body is light receptors. And so, what an idea to use light to heal the body. And now where we are today, everybody knows that red light, blue light, infrared light, green light, all these spectrums of light that are energy driven have impact on our biology. And so, yes, the first technology, I have my energy enhancers on. His first technology, it's in the form of a patch that you put on your body. It's made of organic, crystal nano organic material. And it's in, it has a frequency that's communicating. When you put the patch on your skin, the heat in your body activates the patch, and that sends a signal through your electrical system to activate biological changes. There's no pharmaceutical, there are no contraindications, although we haven't done studies on pregnant women. We haven't done studies on people who are going through chemotherapy. But the beauty is it's working with the intelligence of your body. And so when let's say we put the patch that elevates your body's glutathione, there's no glutathione in the patch. It's sending a signal to your body, elevate your own glutathione. And so the beauty is it's not going to elevate, your own body has intelligence. It's not going to elevate it more than what you need. So
and I
I want to
also
just
heard that also it activates dormant stem cells, which
it does. So it elevates a copper peptide. The FDA doesn't like us to say stem cell, but it elevates the copper. Two different patches, X39 or X49, they elevate different copper peptides. Those copper peptides, if you do the research, have specific responses in the body. So the X39, it elevates GHK, and that copper peptide has to do with skin remodeling. That those stem cells go to where the body most needs it and begins the repair work in the body. And then the
it's excellent for skin as well, right?
It is. I have seen a tremendous impact on my skin, on my hair, my nails, and the other stem cell patch is X49, and that patch elevates HAK, and HAK peptide is a peptide that has to do with performance. So you think about stamina, you think about, your sports performance, your mental performance, anything where, you have, you're wanting to be stronger, that copper peptide is responsible for that.
Do you apply both of them at the same time?
You can, absolutely. You can. Different people have different approaches. I tend to wear X39 at night because that's when the body is doing repair work, and I wear X49 during the day. So, LifeWave has had great success, really good clinical research on the patches. And so David, for at least 6 years, he's been working on what will launch before the Ultimate Wellness Expo, which I'm super excited about. And it's this water machine, the X2O. So he said when he first started working on infusing water, the technology to infuse water with light. So imagine, instead of putting water on the skin and it needing to, go through the process of sending the signal and all that, you're literally drinking light into your cells.
This year, together with LifeWave patches, you bring this LifeWave X2O water machine to the expo. And this will be the first time when you showcase this machine, right?
It will be. And they're actually launching in the US in July. So it will be very new when it comes to the expo. I will have had it. I will order it as soon as it comes out. And I will have had at least a couple of months drinking the water. You only need 1 glass a day, according to David. And so I'll be able to share what my experience is. I'll be able to share, how other people are experiencing the machine. We continue to have different clinical studies come out. So it will be very new on the market when we bring it to the Ultimate Wellness event.
Yeah, and I also want to announce that at our Ultimate Wellness Conference at Faena Forum in Miami Beach on September 26, 27, 28, you will also host your workshop, which is practical workshop, and it's going to be about healing with light. And obviously you will include some new information about research about this new machine, and you will explain how it works. I did my own research a little bit, and I saw that it promises to elevate NAD, increase cellular energy, human growth hormone, and also improves building muscles and strength and enhancing natural healing. Yeah, absolutely. As you explained, we just tap into these natural healing properties of our own body, basically just energize the body, and the body then starts to heal itself. And definitely it will boost our metabolism because we are more than 60% of water, depending on organ. We have most percent of water in our brain and a little bit less in our muscles and skin. So basically, we energize our body with this light. And I have some experience with IVs. with light. I told you before that there is infusion of light. When I did this infusion of light through IV, I actually asked the doctor if it's possible to receive everything, all this spectrum light wavelengths from the sun, and they said yes, it's possible, but you will need to be on the sun at a specific time, like sunrise, sunset, and for specific time, and it's possible, but not always like we can do a lot of sun exposure, and not all people like a lot of sun exposure. So this machine it's for light infusion, like similar, because our mind is always want to compare to something. So like, is it like this IV with light? Does it similar?
So what I can tell you, Julia, which I think is really interesting, is this is David Schmidt, the scientist behind the technology. He has 200 patents. This was the fastest patent approved. Why? Because it's that novel. There's nothing like it. So I don't know the science behind the light infused infusions. But this technology is very different. He's actually created a new metal, and he would have, I'm not a scientist, so you would have to go, you'll need to go watch him talk about how he, came up with the technology, but he has created a new metal, and actually the frequencies. He studied lobster. Okay, he studied lobsters because lobsters don't age. Lobsters are, they come to the end only based on predators. And I think there's one other thing I don't remember, but they continually grow, and they don't have cellular aging. And so
the other reason, probably humans.
Yeah. So it's super interesting because he studied actually the frequency of lobsters in the blood. And then he looked at, he's got this combination of the frequencies for lobsters and codes that he's found, interestingly enough, in the Bible. So when you're looking at the ancient language of the Bible, there were no numbers. So the letters and numbers, there are codes in ancient scripture based on.
I have heard about this. Like it would not be possible to finalize the book without knowing what is going to be at the end, because everything looks like math, and it was like counted from the beginning to the end, and looks like the person or whoever wrote this book knew what is going to be at the end, like it was calculated. I have heard about the science. So the combination of lobster and
he found a code that is really a longevity code, and it has to do with the hertz. So we're talking about frequency. It has to do with the hertz, and he has the frequency that the water is infused with is this very specific hertz frequency that's related to the lobsters, the frequency for lobsters. Now, even though I've heard him speak out, I've listened to trainings at our convention where he taught us about this for 3 hours, and I'm listening to him talking about the clinical studies. I don't feel quite able to explain all of that yet, because there are so many intricacies to it. But I think it's as humans, we have we are a frequency. And we have this frequency as humans. And what is the optimal frequencies? He's tapping into the optimal frequency for cellular regeneration, and he's been able to infuse that through this novel metal into the water so that we can drink it. So when they're doing these clinical studies, and there's one, are you familiar with the BioWell?
Yeah, of course. And
I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
BioWell will be there. Okay.
Yes. Either with Sentnir Wellness, because they present this technology, or maybe with Nima Farshid himself. But Nima Farshid will join us, and I obviously know. Now I know that many companies, they use this BioWell for research. Like,
yes.
For example, they can measure before and after any kind of remedies, devices, water, whatever. So we can measure state before intervention and after. And we can do it, with machine as well.
Yeah, BioWell is really interesting because there are a lot of practitioners. BioWell is integrated to make recommendations for LifeWave patches based on if you do your BioWell scanning, they will recommend patches for you. So BioWell is one of many technologies that's used in the clinical studies with the with X2O. And, what was indicated with BioWell is this, at the speed of life positive change of the flow of energy throughout the body. And also including the brain. So including like a rush of energy, they can see where the light is going, and it's literally you're drinking it and it's going throughout your entire body.
Yeah, amazing. And let's explain to those who don't understand yet, and nobody understands yet because it's, as I said, it's brand new technology, LifeWave X2O machine, water machine. It actually does something else, not only infusion of light, but it also purifies water from heavy metals, some toxins, as far as I understand, forever chemicals. And then it also infuses molecular hydrogen, which is potent itself. It's a very good antioxidant, and it's already great that it purifies water and infuses with molecular hydrogen. But now it goes further and beyond this purification and infusion with hydrogen, infusion with light. However, I also want to emphasize that this water machine can be placed at home as for purification of the water. So actually, we don't need to use purified water or purchase additional water. This machine does everything from purification to infusion with hydrogen. I know that now many biohackers and those health seekers and wellness enthusiasts, they are very in this molecular hydrogen, and everybody has a bottle or some pills and something to infuse hydrogen. Now we have this machine which does three things, right? 1, 2, 3, purification, hydrogen plus light. Yeah, which is great because, it's always good to have some solution with which we can exclude something from the protocol, because it's already too many biohacks and sometimes it's overwhelming.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we could diminish the technologies that we need, right? Like, David wanted the water machine to actually provide that book-ended experience with water, which is why it purifies. So I know it's going to have the certification you need to like be the strongest water purifier. I don't know what that purification is, but he said they will have that. And then the hydrogen, yes, like in Chicago, I have a little bottle that hydrogenates the water. And here in Miami, I actually have something at my tap that purifies and hydrogenates the water. I love that this water machine will do all of that, plus infuse the water with light. How powerful it will be interesting to see, Julia, what happens when you're giving your body a dose of light internally. So your cells internally are drinking in this light infused water with the frequency that is in tune with the human body and perfect health. What other things, maybe there are certain things we won't need to do, because we're tapping into a key variable for health, for longevity, for our vitality. And we are mostly water. If you think about, water is in so many ways that which is alive. And we, you know, we came from water, from the womb. We came from water, and we're made of mostly water. And if we think about, you know, we can live without food, we really can't live without water. There's something that's so unique about water. I'm sure you're aware of like structured water and how
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So when this water from the H2O machine is it's structured. So it's also structured. And when they freeze it, you know, it creates a perfect vortex.
Yeah, I
So
know
there's
that it depends what information you send to the water. Then when you freeze the water, there will be or
yeah.
beautiful or some ugly construction like
Mhm.
stars or some constructions which are beautiful and symmetric style, and other asymmetric, not beautiful, which means that the structure of that water is not good. Yeah.
It's not
Um,
optimal. Yeah.
Not
So the
optimal. Yeah.
beauty is that this water structures itself into a perfect vortex.
So with this light infusion, the structure of water changes to their this beautiful positive state, let's say. And yeah, interesting. Yeah, I recently had a conversation with Viktor Sagalovsky. You know him. He is founder of Light Water, and it's deuterium depleted water. And as he explained, I think the principle is the same, that you just add this deuterium depleted water and you replace your own, let's say, dirty, not structured or heavy water with more light, deuterium depleted water. And then with each replacement, your water becomes more and more deuterium depleted. And the main what he explained, it's not like how much water you drink at once. It's about consistency. I guess with this light, again, my brain always want to compare to something, but I guess that with this water which is light infused with light, the same. It's like consistency. We constantly need to drink some amount of this water, like every day, because if we think about our body, we detoxify every day. It's like natural process, and obviously our water inside us always becomes dirtier with all toxins, with toxins which come from external environment, from inside our body. So when we drink this water, it's not how much we drink at once. It's about consistency. We basically need it just like every day. And yeah, probably it's good solution to enhance your detoxification, also process, especially in the morning. You know, when I wake up, I always drink, first of all, I drink water. Obviously, it's purified water or spring water, and sometimes I add hydrogen, and sometimes I actually add salt. It's Soleil.
Yeah.
I just have this jar of Soleil, salt Soleil.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
salt
Yes.
with water, and I
Yes.
add a little bit so it helps flush off those toxins after night. And I'm so excited to explore this new machine,
Yeah. Yeah.
LifeWave XO2. I asked you about price. Yeah, you told me.
You did, yeah. So we don't have the exact price yet, but
Okay.
he said it will be around $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
$5,000, and there is a company that will finance it for people who want that. And that $5,000 price will be the wholesale price for people who you know who are brand partners, who are preferred customers. It will be that's not the retail price. That's the price for people who already have an account with LifeWave, as a brand partner, as a preferred customer.
Yeah, I
I did want
understand.
to go back and quickly just mention the light water with Victor,
Yeah.
because Victor and I know one another, and he knew David. And actually, David mentioned on one of the trainings on the clinical studies, they actually did they did testing with light water, with the deuterium depleted water. And he said, I don't want to get into it too much, but the impact was dense and the structure was much more extensive. And so he said the deuterium water was significantly better, if you will. You know, he said
sensitive to light. Sensitive to light, I would say, is my understanding of this, because it's lighter and maybe light just penetrates easier, probably.
Exactly. Yeah. So I found that really interesting. I do receive light water, and I kind of just add it in, you know, in bits. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. But yes, the price. The price, we initially, when he, you know, through the process of creating the machine, he's, you know, when he was telling his people at the company, well, it's about, you know, $30,000-$40,000, and it's like, oh, it can't be that much. And so it's not going to be that much. But they really had to workshop it so that it could be at a price point. But you know, just to say, the technology is so unique and has, you know, so much potential that it's not, you know, $5,000 is a lot. But if you think about some of the really significant biotech equipment, $5,000 actually, in the way that it's going to work in the body, is not that much of an investment. It's a pretty good price.
Yeah, a good investment, and it saves you money for purification, for molecular hydrogen. Actually interesting how often we need to replace this purified piece, because there is obviously some filter.
Yeah, so David really wanted the machine to be maintenance free. And he's thinking, you know, if household use, general household use, not more often than once a year.
Once a year. That's actually very long use, because usually we need to replace filters in a few months.
The other interesting thing, Julia, that David has talked about in our trainings that I find really fascinating, because he's working on different frequencies for the water, the machines, if you buy a machine, you will be able, as he adds the capacity for a machine for the different frequencies, the different frequencies of light that you could send in the machine, your machine will have the capacity to be upgraded. Let's see, let's say he created a specific frequency for something and you wanted that, you don't have to throw your machine out. He has created it so that it can be upgraded for whatever the frequencies that he creates for the machine.
Abundance frequencies, prosperity frequencies. No, I'm not joking. Actually, I know some other technology which is also German made. If I understand right, LifeWave is German made.
No, it's US made.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's US made. Yeah.
Okay.
He's US. David is American. We have manufacturing in Ireland and the US. It's a global company. It's a $500 million company. And with the launch of X2O, we're expected to become $1 billion company. So
maybe because it's very high quality, it sounds for me like German made, because everything which is German made is usually high quality. So whatever. I know that some other device they offer frequencies which can be generated on demand. As I say, I actually didn't make a joke. I actually really
true. I know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yes. So frequencies, light wave frequencies and microcurrent frequencies. You know, these two different kinds of frequencies. Microcurrent frequencies, which influence the body on the cellular level. That's why they are so powerful. They influence our core of our cells. And does this light wave frequencies influence on the cellular level as well?
On the cellular level, yes.
On the cellular level, yeah. here I just want to explain to those who listen and just introduced to this frequency medicine. There are some different kinds of frequencies because everything has frequencies. Even if we just use aroma oils, you know, your aromatherapist, you know this. Every oil has frequencies, rose has frequencies, ocean has frequencies, everything has frequencies, absolutely. But they are not the same kind of quality because these frequencies influence on deep cellular level. That's why they are so powerful. So it's not the same as using aroma oils or some other frequency medicine. Great. Thank you for all this explanation about this LifeWave X2O water machine. And also, thank you that you plan to provide this workshop, Healing with Light. And I think it will be very interesting for our audience. As you are also experienced coach for females, for women, and at our this year Ultimate Wellness Conference, we will have a powerful panel discussion about women health. We call it She Who Heals. Will be moderated by Colette, biohacking mama, and we will have brilliant speakers on the panel. We will also have such great speakers as Dr. Emmy Bekillen, Dr. Wanda Wright, also JJ Virgin, and Cynthia Thurlow. They all will be speaking about how to upgrade women's health, especially during this menopause, midlife path, as we call it. And you're also very experienced in coaching females. And as a last piece of today's conversation, please advise some practical practices which we should practice on daily basis. Maybe some frequency medicine, maybe something else, because you're also functional nutrition coach and many other modalities. What have you found the most powerful for yourself, for your clients, and what you always suggest? Empower us with some practical tips.
Wow. Thank you for that question, Julia. It's a really powerful question. And I get that question a lot. And I like to keep it really, it's really important. And I do like to keep it really simple. And I bring it back truly to HeartMath. I don't know if you're familiar with HeartMath. I know I spoke about it.
From you.
Yeah. It will be my broken record. And for when it comes to wellness, because it is frequency, it's tapping into the frequency of your heart. Your heart's frequency goes way beyond your body. It vibrates stronger than your brain frequencies. And it is the frequency that is coming from your soul. And it is a powerful frequency, and it's really tapped in because it's your heart rate variability. And so it's that intersection of your soul and your physicality, and that has its own frequency. And so when it is in tune, we see that our heart rate variability has a very nice rhythm to it. When it's out of tune, it's incoherent. HeartMath talks about it as coherent or incoherent. It's a bit of a chaotic pattern. And so your emotions really are the indicator of, what is the frequency that you're emitting through your heart rate variability, or your frequency that's coming from you, from your heart. Whether or not you're aware of it or not, you have a frequency, and people who are tuned in can feel the frequency when they're with you. And so HeartMath is a series of easy breathing techniques that are trademarked. And the first one is heart focused breathing. And so I will, lead the listeners to just focus your attention on the area of your heart and visualize your inhale and exhale to flow to and from your heart center. It's just so simple. And people can feel, like me, just when I talk about it, I'm like, oh, there it is. I feel it. I feel that inhale and exhale coming from my heart center. It's softening. And then you have the inner ease technique, where you bring up the feeling of inner ease. What does that feel like in your body? So you feel everything relax, and you allow the inhale and exhale to flow to and from your heart center, and you visualize it.
Yeah, and spiritual practices here is in the middle of our chest, believed to be seat of the soul, like here. Yes, and it's not only physical heart located somewhere here, but also spiritual
Yeah.
heart located
Yeah.
here. I
Yeah.
actually know, yeah, cool.
You can go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, at Ultimate Wellness, we always emphasize the spirit, emotional, mind, body connection. And you just explained this is the beginning, this is the center, and everything goes from this center. So if we imagine this model as a target of the spirit, the essence of love, or frequencies of our heart, or opening our heart, whatever how you explain it, is in the center, and then everything around, which is second layer, it's emotions. The next layer will be mind, and then body. That when our heart emanates specific frequencies, everything around tends to be structured in such a beautiful, positive way. Rather than if our heart is closed and we are experiencing, as you explained, this incoherence, because coherence is tuning into natural frequencies, and incoherence is tuning into some artificial frequencies, maybe some EMFs or whatever radio frequencies, and not coherent frequencies. So this HeartMath helps us to tune into coherent frequencies, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you know, something that's really interesting, Julia, is that when we look at, for women, and this is true for men too, but you asked me about women. So for women, you can have, like, as a functional nutrition practitioner, you can put somebody on a perfect protocol and they can follow a perfect protocol and be the best client. But if they have unhealed trauma, or if they don't love themselves, then that perfect protocol it's not going to activate. There's just something that's it's just like they can't move forward. They're still having symptoms. And then because there is this piece, body, mind, spirit, mind, you can't ignore one. You really have to bring them all to the table when you're looking at health.
Yeah, because it's holistic approach to our health, and each part influences other part, and the whole system, like spirit influences emotions, mind, and opposite, and also our body influences opposite to the center. But yeah, it's all holistic system. I like this explanation. And what would I expect from you rather than this beautiful explanation? Because you understand this really holistic approach, and of course, everything which is for physical body, such as nutrition, exercising, good night's sleep and rest and mindfulness. It's all super important, and we need to follow these recommendations as well on daily basis, and all these biohacking technologies. But as you said, if we don't in love with ourselves, we are not going to heal. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm super excited to welcome you personally as a sponsor, the partner, as the person who brings this light to our Ultimate Wellness Conference at Faena Forum in Miami Beach on September 26th through 28th. There are going to be over 30 brilliant speakers, over 30 exhibitors with brand new innovative longevity technologies, devices, and also we present eco-friendly, ecological, sustainable products at the second expo hall. This year we divide machines and technologies from eco-friendly products, just to organize it a little bit in a such way when people know, like, if they go that way, they can explore some devices. Another way, then they can try some remedies and skincare as well. And of course, as always, I like to announce that we offer many transformative experiences and practical workshops, including Dana's workshop about healing with light. So welcome, join us for this transformative wellness weekend and purchase your ticket with the promo code Dana. TANA, really easy. There will be some nice discount. Go to ultimatewellness.miami. Yeah, and there will be link. You'll find all the information and agenda. Agenda is already posted, by the way. Thank you so much, Dana. It's a
Thank you, Julia. It was really nice.